It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. That doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts.
Last night in Tehran and some other places, a bunch of vandals showed up and destroyed buildings belonging to their own country just to please the U.S. president.
President Trump and the supreme leader there of Iran, as you look at a map of the recent protests just in the past day or so, we're now at plus 100 cities where they're seeing activity, protest activity, and there is some crackdown by the regime. What does this mean big picture? Let's start there and bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired General Jack Keane. General, thanks for being here. This seems like it started as an economic protest, but has developed into a regime protest against the regime, and it seems to be significant.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it started certainly with middle-class merchants in the marketplace and bazaars, and moved to poor working-class workers who felt completely disassociated with the economy. You know, they couldn't make everyday needs. I mean, it's hard to get your head around 42% inflation and what that actually means for an everyday citizen. And then it spread to academia and to students, which have always been a part of these protests, but they were the last ones to join. And now it's cutting across much of the socioeconomic demographics that exist in Iran. And it's in major cities, to be sure. The city that matters the most, and is where the seat of power in the government is, certainly Tehran, even though it's widespread, to be sure. And we've seen these before, and we've had aspirations that maybe this is the one that will make the difference, and the regime will collapse and people will get on an airplane and leave. But it's never happened. The only things I would add to that, there are two things that are completely different than the previous demonstrations. One is that the regime is at its weakest point in 45 years. Politically, they can't meet the social and political and economic aspirations of the people. Economically, they're in the tank, to be sure, and with no prospect of recovering. And militarily, they just lost a war. They've lost their platform in Syria. Their proxies are, by and large, decapitated and almost eliminated, to be sure. And the result of all of that is they are in a fundamentally weak position, and it's serious in terms of the regime. And when you have that, it also breeds discontent and breaks down trust and unity because people begin to fear about their own survival. The second thing that's completely different, Brett, and that is President Trump. He is in power, and he uses force to accomplish significant objectives, but uses limited force. And he has told them, no uncertain terms, if you kill these people, you're going to answer to me, paraphrasing his words. They've killed 48. They've imprisoned about 2,000. We know when they put them behind the walls, what do they do to them? They torture them, they beat them, and they hang them. And they do that out of public view for all the obvious reasons. If I was in the Iranian regime, I would take President Trump dead serious here.
General, the question is, what does that look like? When the president puts out that we're locked and loaded if you're killing these protesters, as you mentioned, there are arguably some reports that 60 plus already killed and 2,300 captured and detained. There's all kinds of reports of an increased crackdown that's coming on protesters. And then you have Israel's concerns about the buildup of ballistic missiles starting up again that could lead to more strikes, either by the U.S. or by Israel.
Well, the strikes against ballistic missiles are inevitable. It's just a matter of when. That's the reality. No physical restart of the program for nuclear weapons, although they certainly intend to do that. But the matter at hand dealing with the protests, look, the United States and our Central Intelligence Agency and other agencies are gathering intelligence here. They're monitoring this closely. Remember, Israel killed not some of the Iranian senior military leaders. They killed all of the Iranian senior military leaders. They chose not to kill any of the civilian leaders. Did they know where they were? Could they have killed them? You betcha. We're sharing intelligence. It is likely if we do something here, and as the Iranians continue to blow off President Trump, I think that likelihood becomes considerably more possible and potential. And that is the leaders themselves in the movement. There's headquarters that are responsible for this as well. There's military capability out there that certainly supports all of this. There are a number of options that the president and his team and the Israelis have in dealing with this reality.
I just have a few seconds here, General, but you would say that the chances that some kind of strike, whether it's Israel, the U.S., whether it's supporting these protesters, would likely happen soon?
I think I would take the president serious. I have no insight into what they're thinking, but I'm listening to what they are saying. And he's dead serious. And anybody at this point that doesn't take President Trump serious when he's saying something like, given the evidence of the last year, is certainly reckless and irresponsible. So, yes, he put an ultimatum out there. He established a red line, and he has a tendency, the evidence is in. If you cross it, you're going to pay a price for it.
We'll see what that looks like. A lot of hot spots around the world. General, it's always great to have you on. Thank you.
Yeah, great talking to you, Brett. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.